Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Sagar and today I am comparing the iPhone 16e, Apple's newest entry-level iPhone, with one of the very popular iPhones of the time, the iPhone 11. Now I know the iPhone 11 is not being sold anymore, so this video is intended for someone who is using the iPhone 11 and is looking to upgrade to the iPhone 16e. We'll be looking at all the aspects like their design, performance, cameras and a lot more and try to figure out whether the iPhone 16e is a worthy upgrade. So let's dive in. First, let's get their prices out of the way. Back when it was launched, iPhone 11 started at 64,900 rupees for the 64GB storage variant and went all the way up to 79,900 for the 256GB storage variant. iPhone 16e on the other hand starts at 59,900 for the 128GB storage variant and goes all the way up to 89,900 for the 512GB storage variant. So the 16e comes at a lower launch price with double the storage compared to the iPhone 11. Next, let's talk design. iPhone 11 gave us a lot of fun colors to choose from, whereas the iPhone 16e comes in just two colors, white and black. Now I saw this post online somewhere and I can't help but wonder how amazing this phone would have looked in all of these colors. Both phones get an aluminium frame and glass front and back. The iPhone 11 featured the classic rounded frame, while the iPhone 16e adopts a more modern flat edge design all around. Both the phones get 6.1-inch displays, but thanks to the flat sides, 16e is smaller than the iPhone 11 in every dimension. It's also lighter and feels more comfortable in the hand. It is a good 30 grams lighter than the iPhone 11, which doesn't really sound that much, but in terms of smartphones, 30 grams is a pretty significant reduction in weight. Now I like both rounded and flat edges, but I feel like the flat edges gives us more of the phone to hold on to, and the 16e is also slightly narrower than the iPhone 11, making it fit more easily in my hands. Now, something new that this iPhone 16e gets is the action button, and it's the same that we got on the iPhone 15 Pro, 16 and 16 Pro. This is in the place of the mute switch that we got on the iPhone 11, and it also gets a USB Type-C port for charging and data transfer instead of the Lightning port. If you have a lot of lightning cables placed around your house, then the transition is going to be a bit difficult for you. But once you replace most of your lightning cables, this new charging port is much more convenient. Coming to the front, both the phones retain the notch to hide the Face ID tag, but the one on the 16e is much narrower in comparison, leaving slightly more of the screen area on its sides. Speaking of the screen, iPhone 16e has a Super Retina XDR OLED display, which is a significant upgrade over the iPhone 11's LCD panel. Resolution-wise, you go from 326 pixels per inch on the iPhone 11 to 460 pixels per inch on the iPhone 16. Both are still 60Hz displays, but the iPhone 16e offers much better contrast, richer colors, wider viewing angles, deeper blacks and much better brightness levels. 11's display can get as bright as 625 nits, whereas the 16e gets 800 nits of typical brightness and 1200 nits of peak brightness while viewing HDR content. iPhone 11's display is still usable, but the one on the iPhone 16e is noticeably superior, especially if you use your phone outdoors a lot. Performance is where the 16e really shines. It's powered by the A18 chip, which is a huge leap from the iPhone 11's A13. These chips are almost 6 years apart, and this shows in their performance. iPhone 16e handles everything right from the basic everyday tasks to more demanding tasks and games with a lot more ease, but the iPhone 11 has started showing its age. The 16e also gets a much better neural engine and a lot more RAM, and it's also built for ample intelligence for whenever it arrives. Now if you have been using the iPhone 11 for a long time, some of you might have started to feel its sluggishness, while others might still feel like it is working fine. But when you actually use the iPhone 16e even for a short time, you will quickly realize how dated the 11 has become. So most of the people switching to the iPhone 16e will be noticing the second biggest leap in terms of performance. Now you must be wondering why second? Because the biggest leap that you are going to notice is in terms of the battery life. At 3961 mAh, the 16e gets the biggest battery out of any 6.1-inch iPhones. It's even bigger than the iPhone 16, which costs a lot more. So the 3110 mAh battery inside the iPhone 11 is dwarfed by the one on the iPhone 16e. It's not just about the battery, the A18 is also much more efficient, and add to it the efficiency of the Apple's new C1 modem, which is making its debut with the iPhone 16e, and the resourcefulness of iOS, you will get almost 8 to 10 hours of extra usage out of the iPhone 16e compared to the iPhone 11. For a lot of average people, this phone is going to give you a battery backup of almost 2 days. When it comes to charging it up, it also supports 20-watt fast charging, so you can get it from 0 to 50% in under half an hour, which I believe is a thing on the iPhone 11 as well. And you can completely charge it in about an hour and 20 minutes. Both these phones support same wireless charging speeds, and even after MagSafe and Qi2 fast charging being the norm on almost all of the recent iPhones, Apple chose to leave it out on the iPhone 16e. So if you want to use any MagSafe enabled accessories with your iPhone 16e, you will have to get a case which has MagSafe magnets built in. Other key upgrades for the iPhone 16e are 5G connectivity, better water resistance and Apple Intelligence. USB Type-C port at the bottom is a big plus as well. There is one major omission on the iPhone 16e, and that is the ultra-wideband chip for precise location tracking. This is available even on the iPhone 11 from 6 years back, so leaving it out of the iPhone 16e just to save a few pennies makes absolutely no sense. Another thing missing on the iPhone 16e is the ultra-wide camera on its back. This phone features a single 48 megapixel camera, a massive upgrade over iPhone 11's dual 12 megapixel camera setup. Here are a few image samples from both these phones in various lighting conditions. Although it gets just one camera, the 16e captures more details, offers better low light performance, and also benefits from the latest computational photography features. The iPhone 11's camera is still decent, but the 16e is a significant improvement thanks to its much larger 48 megapixel sensor. For a lot more image and video samples and a much deeper dive into their cameras, make sure to watch my camera comparison video which is coming out in the next few days. So as you saw throughout the video, 16e is a pretty significant upgrade over the iPhone 11. It gets newer design which is in line with the recent top-of-the-line iPhones, gets a much better display, latest processor and a lot more RAM so it can hold on to its performance for longer, double the storage options to choose from, single camera at the back, but what it lacks in the ultra-wide focal length, it more than makes up for in the amount of details being captured in all lighting conditions, and it also gets a much bigger battery inside. All of this at a lower launch price than the iPhone 11. And if you plan on exchanging your existing iPhone 11 while getting the iPhone 16e and look for a few card or bank offers, you can get a much sweeter deal. I feel the only negative point about this iPhone 16e over the iPhone 11 is the lack of color options to choose from, and that's it. If you think that your iPhone 11 is still serving you well, you might want to consider waiting a bit longer for the prices of the iPhone 16 to drop, or check what the iPhone 17 has to offer later this year. But if you want most of the advantages of the current generation iPhones at an attractive price point, I think the 16e is a very strong option for you. I hope I have answered most of your questions, but if you still have any, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. That is it for this video guys. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to the channel for a lot more quality tech videos like this. You can also check out some of the other videos from this channel. This has been Sagar and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.